The world is full of monsters. The only way to deal with them is to do what Max did: stare them in the eyes and tell them who's boss. That statement was made by Maurice Sendak, author and illustrator of the very famous book, Where the Wild Things Are. Born in, ni- Born in 1928 in Brooklyn, New York, to Jewish immigrants from Poland, Sendak grew up listening to his father retell Bible stories and scary legends from the old country. Maurice got in trouble retelling these stories at school. He was also a very sick child in his early life and spent a lot of time in bed, making up stories from his window with the help of his brother Jack. Maurice didn't like to write the stories, he enjoyed illustrating them. Years later, Jack and Maurice published two books together. It's no secret that Maurice Sendak had a soft spot for Mickey Mouse. Mickey and Maurice were born the same year. He loved Mickey because he was brave and sassy, unlike the docile characters created for children before. Sendak collected early Mickey memorabilia, but not later versions, because he felt Walt Disney had made him too placid and adorable. You see, Maurice Sendak was a wild rumpus raiser from the start. Maurice Sendak once said, "You can't protect children, they already know everything." After World War II, Sendak found the opportunity to work for FAO Schwartz, creating store window displays. He considered it one of the best times in his life. From there, he was picked up by Harper and Brothers to illustrate children's books. His illustrations were different from the time because he depicted children as square and dark and full of fight. He said his goal as an illustrator was to add something new to the story, where the text does one thing and the pictures say something just a little off center. So both the text and the pictures are contributing to the story. After illustrating more than 20 books written by other people, Maurice decided to write his own book. His first book, Kenny's Window, was published in 1956. In 1960, his third book, A Sign on Rosie's Door, was published. He based this story on Brooklyn Rosie, a little girl from his childhood neighborhood. It's very notable that Maurice's Rosie is not a nice, well-behaved child, but was one of his favorite characters. Maurice said Rosie rescued children from their worst enemy, boredom. Sendak went on to earn the Caldecott Medal for his most famous work, Where the Wild Things Are. His books were controversial for depicting ill-mannered and rowdy children. His book, In the Night Kitchen, remains on the challenged and banned book list for a drawing of a little naked boy, yet it won the Caldecott in 1971. Maurice went on to earn 8 Caldecotts and numerous other awards. Much of Maurice Sendak's work is considered dark, but it's based on deep feelings and experiences from his childhood. Including illustrating and authoring children's books, Sendak worked for 30 years designing opera productions, including Brundabar, an opera originally performed by Jewish orphans in a World War II Poland camp as a government plot to deceive the world into believing how well the Jewish people were being treated while held captive by Nazi Germany. It was performed 55 times before many of the cast were killed in a concentration camp. Among those who were murdered, there were the children, one composer, the director, and the musicians. One of the two composers escaped and reconstructed the full score of the opera from memory. Sendak used his art to deal with the terrors experienced in his childhood, citing the kidnapping of the Lindbergh baby, World War II, and the Holocaust as some of his influences. At the end of the production of Brundabar, Sendak adds one statement for the main antagonist. It says, "They believe they've won the fight. They believe I'm gone, but not quite. Though I go, I won't go far. I'll be back." Sendak knew it wasn't easy to defeat evil, and he rarely gave his readers an easy resolution to the conflict in the story. Defeating evil isn't easy, but possible, he said.